Genesis chapter 15. God's covenant with Abram. Verse 1. After these things, the word of the Lord came to Abram in a vision, saying, Do not be afraid, Abram. I am your shield, your exceedingly great reward. That's just an amazing verse. God is our shield and our exceedingly great reward. Verses 2 and 3. But Abram said, Lord God, what will you give me, seeing I go childless? And Abram said, Look, you have given me no offspring. Indeed, one born in my house is my heir. The reason Abram is afraid in the first place is because God promised him children. Abram really wants children, and he's getting to be pretty old now, but he still hasn't had any kids. He's doubting the Lord, which he shouldn't be doing. So, verse 5. Then he brought him outside and said, Look now toward heaven, and count the stars if you are able to number them. And he said to him, So shall your descendants be. God is saying, You will have as many descendants as the stars in the sky. An unfathomable amount. I have no doubt that you're going to have children. You're going to have numerous descendants. Do not be afraid. And he believed in the Lord, and he accounted it to him for righteousness. That's verse 6. Verses 8, 9, and 10. And he said, Lord God, how shall I know that I will inherit it? So he said to him, Bring me a 3-year-old heifer, a 3-year-old female goat, and a 3-year-old ram, a turtle dove, and a young pigeon. Then he brought all these to him, and cut them in two, down the middle, and placed each piece opposite the other. But he did not cut the birds in two. Remember this for later. Verses 12 through 16. Now when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram. And behold, horror and great darkness fell upon him. Then he said to Abram, Know certainly that your descendants will be strangers in a land that is not theirs, and will serve them. They will afflict them 400 years. And also the nation whom they serve I will judge. Afterward they shall come out with great possessions. Now as for you, you shall go to your fathers in peace. You shall be buried at a good old age, but in the 4th generation they shall return here, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet complete. These are some confusing verses to me, because I thought, Abram's going to have a lot of descendants, they're all going to be successful. These verses are talking about how they're going to be in slavery. This is just a warning to Abram. Hey, you're going to be alright, but your descendants aren't always going to be alright. They have a destiny, but it's not going to be smooth sailing. It's not going to be smooth sailing for anybody. The iniquity of the Amorites is not yet complete. They shall return here in the promised land. They shall return to the promised land. Verse 17. And it came to pass, when the sun went down and it was dark, that behold, there approached a smoking oven and a burning torch that passed between those pieces. That was what I told you to remember. Those things that God told Abram to grab, God has now made some food, something amazing out of those things. Verse 18 through 20. On the same day, the Lord made a covenant with Abram, saying, To your descendants I have given this land, from the river of Egypt to the great river so-and-so. Abram was stressed out. Oh no, my descendants are going to be in slavery. They're not going to be okay. They are. His vision told him something different than what God actually told him. So the main idea of Genesis chapter 15 is do not fear, because God has a plan even if we don't understand it. God's plan is the number one plan. Thank you for watching.